Hello and welcome back to Under Heaven. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after taking this one in the middle. I already forgot their name. To the clinic in order to try to figure out what is wrong with them. By which I mean their memory. It seems that they don't really remember how they got there. They have like little snippets of their memory, just not anything useful, basically. We can also surmise now that, if I recall at the very beginning of this visual novel, we see this mysterious character who runs into like a warehouse and then like plugs in and then like covers himself up with a tarp. Well, it turns out that that's them. Julian, the one on the left, I don't know why I remember his name but not their name. They used to be friends back when the one in the middle used to be back before their surgery, and yeah, basically a lot of time has passed and they don't really know why they don't remember those few years that passed, and we don't know that yet either. So yeah. Also, they are now sleeping in Julian's apartment, rent-free because they can't get a job. And while two of the three roommates were okay with it for a while, one of them was like adamantly like, no, I don't want them here. It's weird and like I don't feel safe and whatnot. They were protesting very loudly, but like whatever. So yeah, they're kind of stuck with Julian for a while until they can basically until they can figure out their situation. Yeah. Anywho, so I guess, yeah, let's continue Under Heaven. I've been doing the best that I can to get out of this house. They're all doing me a solid. I should be grateful, and I am, but just sitting around and twiddling my thumbs waiting to heal would drive me crazy at the best of times. It's so much worse when my room is right by the front door and at the intersection of all traffic through the house. Hey, it's me again. The guy crashing on your couch. Looks like you're coming back from your job. That thing that I don't have. Oh, cool. You're on your way to the kitchen? Want to grab me a snack? Julian looked like he thought that I was making a break for it the first time that I took a walk. I won't say the possibility never occurred to me, but maybe I'm tired. Maybe running is just too much effort. Maybe Julian's optimism is catching and I want to stick around and see if I'm actually moving towards something for once. He said while walking directly away from the terror of slightly awkward conversation. Anyway, walks don't hurt the arm, and I've been going stir crazy, so it seems like a win-win. It's probably good for the healing process or something. The house is on the inner edge of the disc, nearly looking down into the well. So it's not the fanciest neighborhood or anything, but it's clean enough, it's safe. Julian and I, and Alex I suppose, grew up somewhere pretty similar. There was a certain familiarity to it, even if our neighborhood was nearly on the opposite side of the disc. I can just imagine all the four of them working together every month, pulling in enough to hold onto the small, carved-out corner of Megiddo. And then there's me, surviving off their generosity. I sigh. Guess we'll see how long that lasts. Speaking of their generosity, there was a knot of hunger building up in my gut. Being broke, unfortunately, puts a real tether on how far I can wander off. My feet burn a little by the time that I'm back at the house, right around lunch. I end up just microwaving a frozen burrito. There's some leftovers in the fridge, but I'm not actually totally clear on who they're supposed to belong to or how the house handles that kind of thing. And I don't really feel like asking. It tastes fine. I'm just about finishing up when Lark comes in. Can't go wrong with the classics. Huh? Oh, hey, Lark. It takes me just a little bit too long to remember their name. Hey, Ash. Have a good walk? Yeah. So, you off today? or on break, I guess. That they're able to just work from the exchange port in their room is one of those things that I appreciate exists, but it's strange to be around. It doesn't help that they get to a lot up in the exchange in their free time. So most of the time they're just in there. It feels like rooming with a vampire. Takes all kinds, I guess. Wrong on both fronts, I'm afraid. They usually have me on later shifts. Lark sighs as they grab a protein bar from the pantry, tearing the wrapper off. Earlier shifts just have to keep the place materialized. Later shifts pay more since less people can do it, but it means running the concerts. Lucky me, I usually get the late shifts. Hazards of being good at your job. Well, that, seems good, right? I mean, money is money. Shows you're good at what you do. Lark takes a bite of the protein bar and slowly chews before responding. I already know that I'm good at what I do. It would be arrogant to say that just running concerts is beneath me. So I won't say it. But anyway, it manages to be more effortful than simply maintaining the space, but also deadly, dually repetitive. And that's before the people. You wouldn't believe the number of contractual stipulations in place about preserving the brand with these performers, even when everyone involved knows that the whole thing is kayfabe. Would you believe me if I told you that the kinds of people that spend money to show up and watch an imitation of their favorite band, and especially those that do so regularly and repeatedly for the same band, are some of the most, let's say, exhausting individuals that you will ever meet? Yes. Well, they are. I had a feeling. And it's my job to keep them happy. Rough. Honestly, after doing that all day, I'm shocked that you're still in the exchange in your free time. Last place that I worked made you use the worst fucking overlay. After that, I don't even like plugging my interface in if I don't have to. Has to be that much worse if you're going in all in. Well, I'm not spending time in official instances, obviously. Yeah, but the jailbroken ones aren't really that different, are they? You've never used them? I feel a twinge. Only briefly. I wander around a few. I didn't really get involved. Well, I'm not even sure where to begin on what you're missing out on. Surely the potential of the technology doesn't escape you. As a venue for art, anything is possible. Simply building up one's own little world is the most common format, of course, but a skilled practitioner can hold together enough to engage in more involved narrative. Think of a movie or a play, but with the potential for every part to be played by a single person who also creates the settings. It's no simple thing to do. Well, yeah, but isn't that all still possible in official instances? Tell me, Ash, how often do you get up to the Wreath? I mean, I've been up a few times, I guess. Usually don't have much of a reason to. Ah, but isn't the Wreath more pleasant, perched above the disc and the well? You have greenery all about you, a commanding view of the city, and the air's quality surely as good as it is anywhere in Megiddo. And it's only a few miles away. Surely you'd want to go there more often than that. Sure, but 1,500 points for a lift ticket isn't exactly cheap. Could probably get, I don't know, a fancy dinner or something for that much. Way more normal meals if you stretch it out. And then you're gonna pay the same to get back down. And speaking of meals, good luck finding anything unaffordable up there. Just so, official instances are much the same. Oh sure, the basics are cheap enough. That is, if you want to only host a handful of people and have constraints placed on what you manifest. Of course, you still have to have someone actually putting in the work to create things. They bleed you in drops. A little more for a few more people. A little more for thought forms of greater scope. Much more than that if you really want to start the road to grander scale or complexity. And all of it metered and limited and timed. None of it truly yours. Why, I think any expert could look at fresh creation and answered the question, what's the monetary value of that dream? Well, as the existence of a jailbroken servers might have tipped you off, running an exchange server is in fact simply not that expensive. The whole thing's a monopolistic racket, locking freedom in a cage to sell it by the pound. But all it takes is that slightly rhetorical flourish. Why don't you just choose not to buy? Why not go outside instead? And the jailed become their own jailer. Huh. Okay, I might need to think of that for a while. I'd always thought that it was just about, wanting free shit. Who doesn't, really? I don't know. I'm still not sold. None of it is real. Doesn't really matter if it's free or whatever, it's still just as fake as the official instances. Then I must apologize. Because if that's the most that you came away with, then I've quite failed to explain it in the ways that actually matter. Heavy footsteps thud down the hall. Amir emerges into the kitchen, looking bedraggled. Morning. It's past noon. I said what I said. Hey, Ash. Hey. He ends up tossing a burrito of his own in the microwave. I feel a twinge of guilt. Did I accidentally take one of his favorites? Anyway, I was just starting to tell Ash here a bit more about jailbroken instances. Yeah, you and Julian pulling in another recruit for your weird sex stuff? I nearly choke on a bite. You need to get better material. Perhaps I should talk about you being into sports ball. I'm sure nobody's heard that one before either. Some of us enjoy pursuits that challenge us. Challenge you, huh? That's one way to put it. It takes me a solid moment to realize that neither of them is actually upset. There is an entire relationship that already exists here, friendly enough that they casually give each other shit. One that I can only watch, a complete outsider. But for Ash's benefit, yes. There's that too, obviously. Huh? That got him interested. Did it now? I guess. It's what I'd mostly heard about jailbroken instances anyways. Unsurprising. Well, art is hardly as distant from sex as some would have you believe. But that's a separate topic. But it will have to wait. I'll be sure to correct whatever slander Amir feels a need to add later. I have an appointment to keep. Later. See you. Amir takes his own burrito from the microwave. There's enough of mine left that it would be obvious if I try to hurry out. It occurs to me that I haven't actually been alone with him in the short time that I've been here. He walks over and sets his plate down on the kitchen table before he seats himself, testing the burrito experimentally with his fingers, but finding that it is still too hot. I take a bite of mine. So, how's settling in been going? It's been good. I appreciate you all, letting me stay. Well, seemed like a pretty rough situation. Yeah. So, sounds like you and Julian go pretty far back? His food's cooled off enough for him to start eating. I try to keep my hackles down. I can't help but feel like I'm being interrogated. Yeah, though it's been a long time, and that's before even accounting for, the whole situation. Yeah, that. I can't even really imagine. 2 years, just totally gone? Does he believe me? Hell, if I were in his shoes, would I believe me? Because I realize that there is an alternate, far more likely story. Somebody at the end of the rope looks up an old friend, somebody sympathetic and kind-hearted like Julian, and they come up with some wild story. And spin that into a free place to stay. Fuck. I swallow. Yeah, I'm still doing what I can to make sense of it. It's... I don't know. The best that I can do as far as the doctor said is just wait and hope something comes back. It'd be something else if I could at least start looking for work, but Julian kind of insisted that I wait until I'm a little more healed up. Yeah? Yeah, it was a whole thing. I mean, I don't think the arm's that bad, but I get it, I guess. Still, I feel like I'm gonna go crazy just sitting around. I get that, I guess. Ain't exactly fun to feel useless. Yeah. Well, give it time, I guess. Might wish that you could go back to relaxing soon enough. I think I can feel myself smile slightly, though I don't really find the joke funny. That's the hope. Guess it's lucky that the clothes fit at least. Fuck me. Besides everything else, I'm literally wearing his probably dead partner's clothes. I think about the things that I would give to be literally anywhere else right now. Yeah, it's don't say that it's lucky. It's a hell of a coincidence. Well, life's funny like that. Good luck, I suppose. I'll see you around. I gotta get to my shift. See you around. He pushes away from the table and departs, while I'm left to finish off what's left of my burrito. It's gotten cold. Early in the day as it is, I feel both mentally and physically exhausted. Maybe I really am still healing. I already took a walk. I don't really feel like retracing the same steps again. I mindlessly flick through whatever I can pull up on TV. The algorithm suggests some comedy series about a group of firefighters. It's fine. It's not really that funny, but it gets the occasional slight chuckle. The humor's honestly pretty formulaic, once you get your head around each of the characters' big, colorful quirks. I sit in near silence for the next several hours. It's dark out by the time that I stir, probably irresponsibly late to not have dinner yet. I glance up as the front door opens. Oh, hey. Hey. Sorry. Did you, want to watch something? You're welcome to. I'm just kind of watching whatever's on. Nah, I'm good. Julian's got a long shift today, and I assume Lark's about the same. We were probably gonna skip making a whole thing out of dinner. Amir's bringing stuff with him from work. Wanna see a menu? Nah, I'm easy. A burger or something's fine. Alright, well, I'll let him know. I'm gonna go shower. Catch you later. Later. Amir arrives as expected. He gets a steak and cheese, while Alex gets a personal-sized pizza, sausage and onion. We are all sat around the table and digging in, the two of them talking animatedly. It's not so bad, really. I don't mind getting to just sit back and be a spectator to the swirling, shifting currents of their lives. So of course, then they tell us last minute that they want to delay the whole campaign. And I know this client. They're going to put their heads together and have another big meeting of their minds about it, and then they're going to end up running with basically what we already have. Except throwing in a "but make it blue" or something on some shit that doesn't matter. Whatever. It's their money, right? So it's not really our problem. But the whole thing's just kind of a huge fuck around and waste of time. I was looking forward to moving on to the next project. I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's no skin off your back, but you're trying to do your job. It's annoying when people get in the way of that. Yeah, basically. I guess you might feel the same when stuff expires and gets thrown out because they order too much. Ugh, yeah, it's such a fucking waste. And they have all these rules against donating it or taking it home. But what can you do? I swear to God though, if I ever catch somebody dipping into the tips again, I'm going to fucking jail. Oh God, yeah, I don't envy that part of the job. Even before the missing years, my employment history's patchy at best. Nothing that's going to reflect well on me. Yeah, that seems rough. Yeah. Anyway, what happened with the new girl, Kathleen? I don't really think that she's gonna work out. The conversation continues on largely without me. It's just easy, everyday topics. I watch it closely, looking for some glimmer of shared meaning for me to latch onto. Some opening to join in. Should probably figure out some new exercises or something. I don't know. I don't think that they really are helping, but the doctor wants me doing them. They were still saying to be careful with any actual lifting, yeah? Yeah. Ah, well, I was gonna say that you could use that old home set that I never use. At that, I perk up. Oh, you have weights? Would it be alright if I use them sometime? He pauses as he's chewing his food. I don't get it. It seems like a straightforward enough question. Finally, he swallows. Yeah, let me just drop them off in Julian's room for you sometime. You're still using his shower, right? That seems unnecessarily convoluted. Unless he's specifically worried about what I might do or take if I were in his room. No, I'm being paranoid. Anybody might feel uncomfortable at the idea of some near stranger hanging out in their personal space. I don't have any right to expect distrust. I try not to lay my ears flat and answer him. That'd be real nice of you, thanks. Ah, no problem. The rest of the dinner is pretty subdued. Alex and Amir want to watch a drama that they're into. I want to be alone in my room. And since my room is a few square feet of couch in the middle of the living room, I say nothing and we watch the drama. It's impossible to follow. I can get why they like it. The way that it's shot is interesting. A lot of really slow, intriguing camera work. But I don't have the context for anything that's happening. Alex lets out a "oh shit," and Amir starts laughing when the ending stinger involves a character that you're supposed to recognize showing up with a gun. Mercifully, they head for their bedrooms without lingering for too long. I feel both restless from a day of idleness and worn out from the stress of recovery. I'm too tired to stay up and too energetic to sleep. The discomfort of the couch doesn't exactly help. Sleep, when it comes, is shallow and fitful. The next day is much the same. I wake up to Alex, then Julian coming down the stairs. They're considerate enough to keep their steps light and their voices low as I get breakfast and head out for work. I burrow into my borrowed blanket, pretending not to be awake. They head out, and I'm able to drift off for a bit longer. Amir comes down considerably later, and the growling in my stomach is enough to get me to drop the ruse. We make small talk of no real consequence before he heads off to deal with some errands. God knows when Lark gets up, if they haven't already. Their sleep schedule is a mystery to me. I just kill some more time watching TV. I feel like an animal pacing around in my cage, but there isn't anything for me to do. Well, Alex did say that they moved the weights. I prowl up the stairs into Julian's room. Sure enough, there is a set of dumbbells and plates waiting for me. It's not like I've got anything else going on. I hesitate for a moment, but I've got enough privacy that I change down to just some athletic shorts. I'm less thorough than I should be at stretching. I'm quickly realizing how little that I've moved around since waking up. And who can say if I've moved at all from all the time that I was just... No, I refuse. I clamp down on the thoughts and force them away. I'm not going there right now. This is what I need. The loosening of strain in my bicep as I straighten my arm and pull it across my chest. Though I'm just as quickly reminded how fragile my current state is when repeating the stretch with my injured arm causes me to recoil with a hiss. Well, fine. Could do worse than a one-armed workout, I guess. As long as I don't make a habit of it. I just need to feel something burn. I grit my teeth. Sweat sheens me as I work through the motions. As many feelings as possible get scraped and hollowed out, leaving room only for exertion. The asymmetry is awkward, but it only pushes me further and harder to struggle and adapt. I feel drained. Whatever happened to me, it sure as hell didn't involve much cardio. I know my endurance used to be better than this. I want to push myself harder. I want more from this body than it gives me. I want more from this life than it gives me. The only thing stopping me is my own weakness. Fuck it, surely a few reps on the Bad arm couldn't hurt. I started a curl. It's agonizing. Sweat drips down and stings the fresh scar tissue. If I can push through... Ah! I'm in an odd mood when I step through the front door, though I can't exactly complain about getting out early. The whole situation around the drone that I found near Ash still bugs me. I actually ended up following up on the repair ticket. There wasn't any commentary about the tech, and when I checked the actual attached logs, nothing seemed off. I mean, I don't think that I imagined it. I guess it could be some kind of fail-safe behavior that I'm not familiar with to move itself out of the path of traffic. I should probably look into... Ah! What the fuck? That came from my room. I rush up the stairs, fumbling open the door. Is everything... okay? Ah, Ash is, barely dressed. And he's, working hard. The air in the room is uncomfortably warm, the scent dry and masculine. Hey. Hey. Do not stare. Do not stare. Is everything good? Yeah, just, overdid it a bit. Wait, hang on. You were trying to live with that arm, weren't you? I mean, I thought that it might help with the healing. Ash, come on. You need to let yourself rest if you actually want to heal. I feel fine, honest. Like I said, I just went a little too hard. It's just for a little while. You can get back to it soon enough. I guess. He sighs. Look, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cause problems, especially considering you're letting me crash here and all. Really, it's no problem. Uh-huh. The ensuing silence is awkward. I try to find a new topic. Well, anyway, if you don't mind me asking, what's the deal with the scars? The look that he gives me tells me that I fucked up. Well, Julian, I paid a surgeon a lot of money that I didn't exactly have to chop off my... Not those. God, please strike me dead. What, the arm? I already told you. I don't really remember. No, I mean there, by your collarbone. Or the one in your stomach. Oh. I'm not sure I remember. Oh, you mean you think that they were during the time that you were missing? No, they were there before, it's just been a bit. I think the one by my gut was this guy that thought that I stole his wallet. I don't know what his problem was. Seemed out of it. It was in a shelter. Some staff got him off of me. The chest one, I think that was work? This warehouse that I was at for a little while. Some stuff fell out of a box that I was lifting. Real fly-by-night operation. Jesus. Putting aside how I feel, like I'm intruding on something that isn't any of my business. I guess it's one thing to know that Ash has been through some hard times, and it's another to actually hear the details. I wish that he could have reached out. I wish that he didn't have to suffer like that. And yet, there was a casual strength and certainty to him that I don't remember from the person that I knew. I guess it's hard not to at least feel a little impressed. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring up anything painful. He shrugs nonchalantly. It is what it is. It's not there now, so, whatever. Either way, I'm just trying to get over this as quick as I can. Like I was saying, I feel fine. Just need to be more careful. He looks fine. Do not stare. Okay, I stare, but I tear my gaze away as quickly as possible. Even if I can physically feel my heart rate now. And I guess that I'm not used to just doing nothing. I try to think of something to offer. Well, If you're looking for stuff to do, maybe I could show you around some of the jailbroken instances a bit. You're not really familiar, right? Not really, no. There's one that I've been working on that you might like. I've got some errands to take care of, but maybe later tonight? It's something to do, at least. He pauses to think and seems uncomfortable. I'm sure that he's going to refuse. You know what? Sure. Thanks, Julian. I try to hide my surprise. No problem. Anyway, I'll let you, get back to it. Yeah, well, later, Julian. Later. I exhale a breath as I close the door behind me, the image of Ash still seared onto my retinas. I need to get a grip. I feel ashamed, more than anything else, for the way that my heart is racing. I can imagine Lark laughing at me. With things as they are right now, with Ash dependent on me for rent, it would be beyond wrong to express anything like that towards him. He's a friend, somebody that I care about, sure, but that I am helping out because I wanted to help him get back on his feet. I don't want to take advantage of him, or to even try to get close to doing so. I sigh. It's probably for the best that I have some grocery shopping to do anyway. More than anything else, I just need to clear my head. I let out a breath that I didn't realize that I'd been holding as Julian closes the door. Flexing like that was probably a bit too much, even if his reaction was pretty funny. I suppose that I could blame the endorphins from working out or something, though my mind always wanders towards other kinds of physical activity that I haven't gotten up to since waking up. Jesus. Though, not with Julian. Besides how messed up the whole situation would be, he looked like he was about to have a heart attack. Bit of a gender euphoria from getting that reaction out of him of all people, I guess. But no, better to shut off that thought right now. In any case, I need a shower. The last of my clothes go into the laundry basket after I lock the door. I pull my arm across my body in a stretch as I head into the bathroom. I turn the heat high, letting it warm for just a minute before stepping in. It takes me a second to adjust, but I endure it. It's worth it to feel my body relaxing as I gasp, jerking out of the freezing cold spray and pressing myself against the tile. What the fuck? I've never felt the water get cold that fast. No, wait, I shiver. I don't feel like I just got hit by a blast of cold water. I'm freezing all over and I'm soaking wet. It's like I was standing in it for a while. My heart hammers in my chest. I turn the water off and step out. The bathroom mirror is fogged over with condensation, but the water was only hot for a few seconds. This can't be happening. A deep breath, Ash. You're still recovering from a serious injury. So maybe it's not that strange that you fell asleep or blacked out somehow for just a moment. Right? Right? Right. I dry myself slowly and carefully. And as I pull my clothes on, I decide that I don't need to think about it. What I really need is some air. However I feel about living here, I like the balcony. Being this close to the well is a bit of a mixed bag, and I suppose that the dilapidated industrial buildings and lower income housing directly below aren't exactly the most charming view. But it's a view. It's late enough in the evening that traffic has slowed. I slump down into one of the chairs. Honestly, the day has kicked my ass enough that I don't do much more than slouch and stare out of Megiddo. I hear the door open behind me. I've got a feeling that it's Julian, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to deal with him right now. Taking in the sights? Huh. Something like that. They don't deign to actually sit, just to close the door before leaning against the railing. You look like shit. Thanks. Well, it's to be expected. I imagine that you've been having some exciting couple of days. My mind flashes back to the shower, but not really. I mean, definitely at first and all. But if anything, it's the opposite. I feel like I'm losing my mind just waiting around to heal. Interesting. Plenty of people would be glad for that sort of a chance. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm ungrateful. Oh, I didn't say that or think that you were. I just thought that it was interesting. Still, you've been gone for 2 years. There must be plenty that you want to catch up on, plenty that you've missed. I suppose that you could call mindlessly watching shows on the couch catching up. I guess. It all just runs together after a while. Honestly, I already feel sick of it. You know, it's a funny thought. If you did find work, indeed the best work as possible, if you won the lottery of a life and scrimped and saved until you never had to work again, you might find yourself in the exact same position. Though in a rather better physical state, I imagine. What's your point? That it's all just mindset or something? I'm already a billionaire if I think about it, right? That's cute and all, but not very helpful. Oh, not in the slightest. Don't mistake me for thinking that ignoring material reality is wisdom. Poverty, infirmity, deprivation, they grind the spirit down. Of course, you'll hear endlessly from those captivated by the nobility of suffering in art as they point out each stray spark stuck by the grinding as though it justifies the mill. But in the end, it is the grinding down itself that we must contend with. How we're ground down. What do we do as we're ground down? Alright. Again, what's your point? If we must be ground down, better to shed a few stray sparks of life than nothing at all. It's hard to say how much freedom whatever work you will find will afford you, but that freedom is worth using. Cultivating something to fill that time that weighs on you so heavily is a conscious and effortful choice, but one worth making. Or else you'll find that choice being made for you. That feels a bit rich coming from somebody that just sits around plugged in all day. Self-actualization isn't always glamorous. Though it certainly would be if you saw what I was seeing. And the first hit's free, I imagine? Better than free. Stolen. Sure you're not trying to, how did Amir put it? Recruit me into the weird sex stuff? I'm surprised by the intensity of Lark's stare and how it makes me feel, as they ever so casually glance at me. They shrug laconically. Only if you want me to. Wait, what? I think that I've lost control of this conversation, if I ever had it. I said what I said. If nothing else, I'm sure that it would be a better way of burning off some of that restless energy of yours. I was just trying to jab back at them a bit, like Amir does. Serves me right, I guess. But now I'm actually thinking about it. And there's certainly a lot to think about. I do my best to meet their stare. I really shouldn't. Even if I'm a little curious, things are complicated enough right now, even if I'm restless and frustrated. You know what? Thanks, but I'm good. Besides, Julian's already showing me some instances that he's been working on later. That might be about as much as I've gotten it for me for the day. Suit yourself. Anyway, pardon me. You seem like you were in the midst of some quality brooding. I'll let you get back to it. They push off the railing and stride back indoors. Their long tail doesn't brush me as they walk by. But it comes close. Dinner is uneventful. Afterwards, Julian invites me up to his room. I'm strangely anxious as I mount the stairs and follow him in. It's not like I've never been in the exchange before, and it's not like I haven't been in his room alone with him before. Maybe it's something about being invited in this fashion, this late in the day. Or maybe it's just that I'm not really sure what to expect. I mean, it's just the exchange. I guess he'll show me something that he's made up. I try to think what the kinds of shows and things that he likes so that I might know what to expect, but I'm not actually sure. I've got an extra cable and all, but one of us is probably gonna have to lie on the floor. Or there's enough room on the bed that we could. No. It's fine, I'll take it. You probably kinda need the softer surface with the Gen 2s, yeah? Ah, well, it's appreciated, yeah. The exchange router is kept by his bedside. He fishes a second cable out and plugs it into the router before offering it to me. I take it with some hesitation, drawing it back and engaging the lock as I slot it in beneath my skull. I always hated that sensation. Well, don't look too excited. Everything okay? It's fine. I'm gonna be honest though, pretty sure that this just ain't for me. Sure, but you still haven't actually tried. Close enough to it. Official instances? Nah, I mean, maybe you'll still think that it sucks. But you can't really know it yet. And I think that I've got a good feeling. Uh-huh. I settle myself down. Julian lends me a pillow, at least, and similarly gets himself comfortable on the bed as he plugs his own cable in. So, what should I expect? Are we gonna see some cowboys or wizards or soldiers? Something like that? Julian smiles at me with a confidence that I've never seen from him. You're gonna see something real. The connection is engaged and our minds are bored far away on the electric current. I'm unused to the feeling, to the flow of oneself into another. It takes me time to return to my own being. There's a sound that I can't identify. It's repetitive, a kind of steady drone, but as steady and comforting as a fan set by my bedside. I'm seated with my eyes closed. Something warms my fur, like the solar lamp, but it feels off. And my hand brushes the ground and feels something soft. I open my eyes onto an alien sight. It's some kind of plant. It's like nothing that I've seen, small and strange and intricate. Its head is hollow. Small stalks point outwards from the center, each tip bursting outwards into individual golden fibers. That fluff is what felt so soft against my fingers. Even my breath is enough to make it sway slightly. I hold it, spellbound, afraid that I might damage it. And yet, as I draw that breath, the air is sweeter than any that I've ever known. I look up, and I feel as though my heart has stopped. The dome of the sky stretches above me. Sky, I realize, is not just a color. It's not a texture or a flat, worn surface. Sky is a space, bright and free and infinite. And the sun is a thing so brilliant, my eyes sting and water to look at it. I tear my gaze away, blinking out the moisture and wiping it with my sleeve. That sunlight filters down through a canopy of trees. They're close to something that I recognize. But they are not the monoculture of Megiddo. They're varied, wild and twisting, and interlaced with the sounds, I realize, of living things. Of life. There you are. Huh? Yeah, so, this is it, I guess. Sorry, it's still kind of a work in progress. I blink, then slowly stand. It is? Yeah, I mean, there's some parts that are just incomplete. I've been kind of slowly crunching through the sources that I've got. The birds are pretty half-assed right now. But I guess it's deeper than that. Like, what is it really doing, you know? Right now, it's just there. The warm breeze ruffles my fur. I can't pick out the sense it carries. There are too many individual notes, so many of them unfamiliar. Does it need to do more than that? I guess. Maybe not. I don't know really. What's that sound? Oh, that kind of buzzing, right? Yeah. Cicadas. They came up when I was doing my research. They're kind of wild, honestly. Are you familiar? No. But I'd like to be, I think. Go on. Yeah, so... They were an insect like crickets. They made that sound pretty much all day. It's how they found each other, found mates, and so on. God. So back before the Exodus, it was just like this all the time? No, that's a crazy part. Cicadas mostly stayed underground, as long as 17 years. And they sort of timed those cycles together. Eggs would get laid, and then 17 years later, all of the adults would emerge to the surface at once. And after all that time, they might only be alive as adults for about 6 weeks before laying eggs and starting the whole thing all over again. So what you're hearing right now, even pre-Exodus, it would have been this rare special thing. That achingly blue sky looms above me. I wonder if they dreamed of it beneath the earth. I barely realize it when I think out loud. Do you think that it was worth it? Huh? For the cicadas. Living underground all those long years, just for the chance of 6 weeks above it. The breeze and the steady thrum of those ancient creatures fills a silence between us. I guess it has to have been. They did it after all. But maybe it isn't for us to stay? We weren't there, were we? All of this is just still a pieced together reproduction, a best guess. It's more than nothing. You really made all this? Oh, yeah. It's been a bit of a project. I've also been working on this play, but it's even less finished right now. Julian, this is amazing. Well, it still needs work. It still needs direction. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get there. And this is something anyone can do, right? Something anyone could just learn? Sure, I mean, some people take more naturally to it, but it's really not that hard when you get down to it. It's a bit involved, but I'd be happy to teach you if you want to learn. Me? Learning? Julian teaching me? Huh. I'd like that. Maybe not right now. It's still a lot. Is it alright if I just kinda hang out here for a while? Yeah, go for it. There's some other parts that I might work on anyway. Just let me know if you need anything. And just like that, Julian vanishes into thin air. I'm left to stand there, blinking and uncertain in the unfamiliar light. I wander a bit deeper into the forest, marveling at the sights that stretch out before me. A particular tree catches my eye, larger and stouter than any that I've seen in Megiddo. I place my hand on its bark, feeling the sun-warmed intricacies of its texture. Just a little project of his, a little diversion. I'm humbled as realization dawns about how little I really know of the exchange. About how little I know of pre-Exodus Earth, of the experience of that world that was, and how little I know of the man that Julian's become. And yet the things that I don't know don't frustrate me. I think they even excite me. I want to know. I want to learn. I want to understand. I want to think deeper than understanding. My fingers drag down the bark. The texture is rough against my touch. The feeling is blunted by my callous skin, but it is almost like pain. My claws snag against the bark's small intricacies. I trace out lines of mystery, labyrinthian and sacred. You've reached the end of the current build. Thank you for playing. Hey, yeah, Faintly here, gonna skip a bit of the usual outro this time. By the time that you're reading this, there will be a free devlog up on the Patreon explaining the whole situation, but the short version is that both Underhaven and the furry visual novels more broadly are currently under existential threat. If art of the kind that you've seen here of anywhere matters to you at all, please reach out to the payment processors mentioned. reach out to your elected representatives. Signal boost some of the posts that you're seeing about this, and do what you can to help us beat this thing. Likewise, please do what you can to support other individual projects during this time. We're not going anywhere. So, we'll see you around sooner or later. So, at the time of recording this, it turns out that itch.io has decided to once more re-index certain adult games, which include furry visual novels, that are not for sale, meaning that they're free to play. So that technically encompasses every single visual novel, because more or less, they're free. They just kind of have to remove the option to pay for it, quote unquote, which means that you can't really donate to them on itch.io anymore. But that is a perfect moment for you to donate through their other forms, through Ko-fis that they might have, through Patreon if they have that, and other things. But yeah. And at the time of recording this too, the payment processors such as Visa and MasterCard, and I believe even PayPal, have put out statements along the lines of saying like, oh, it's not us, we didn't remove the games, we didn't tell Steam and itch.io not to remove the things, we're not the bad guys here. But itch.io and Steam put out their own statement saying like, no, they kind of more or less told us to do it. So like, who's telling the truth here? And I'm kind of more inclined to believe that itch and Steam are the ones that are more or less telling the truth, and that Visa and MasterCard and all the other payment processors are feeling the heat, and that they're kind of like, oh crap, we don't want to backpedal, but like we don't want to seem like the bad guys. Oh my god, why are you so mean to us? You know? So if you have already, or if you haven't, then, you know, keep up the calls, keep up, you know, trying to speak to these people. There is also a bill, I believe, in the US, which is the Fair Access to Payment Act or something like that, that they're trying to pass, which would make it technically illegal for payment processors to refuse any payment of anything that is legal, or like really any payment whatsoever. So these payment processors wouldn't be able to go like, well, I don't want you to buy that, because it would be, you know, against the law for them to say that. And it is true that there are some games on itch.io and even on Steam, well, there was some on Steam, because they're not there anymore, that were just sort of like gooner material, for lack of a better word. So like, yeah, like there was some concerning things, but like things like this, like Underhaven, Roads Yet Traveled, Ad Astra, Arches, Glory Hounds, and all the other visual novels that I have read and that you guys have read, like, it's like, why were they bad? Why were they removed? They're stories. Some of them just happen to have some adult content. But even these had like warnings, like saying like, hey, there's adult content here. Like if you're not of legal age where you live, like don't play it, don't read it. And even some of the pages had like the warning explicitly pop up when you were to go click on the itch.io link. So like, come on. And then there's the whole YouTube thing that's going around, where YouTube in the US, which I believe it was already doing in the UK and some other places, is gonna start using AI in order to try to best guess if the person that has that account is a minor, based on a whole bunch of little weird things that they're not even really talking about. But I guess it's based on what you're watching and how you're interacting and whatever. And if it deems that you're a minor, it's gonna like limit your account to some things. And then if, let's say like me, I am definitely not a minor. I'm like twice not a minor by now. I'm 36 years old. I am old. Well, not really, but like, you know. But like if it deems you being a minor, you can remove those limitations by giving them your government ID or a credit card or something. And it's like, but I don't want to give my ID to you. Why do I have to give my physical information to you to prove that I'm who I'm saying that I am? Like, I don't trust you that much, YouTube, Google. I trust you to give me money for my work, but I don't trust you that much to give you my personal information. Although technically you should already have, I think you already have some personal government information since you are giving me money and you have to report to the IRS. But still, like for other people, like for you regular people that do not have a YouTube channel like myself, like, come on. There's a big issue with privacy and a whole bunch of things like that. It seems that it like just all happened this year, didn't it? I wonder why. I wonder what could have happened this year. Well, technically what could have happened last year that prompted all of this. Anyways, so yeah, that is the situation. Keep calling, keep bugging your payment processors if you have, if you happen to have a Visa or a MasterCard, or if you happen to use PayPal or Stripe. I think it's called Stripe? Yeah, it's Stripe. They're one of the ones that are also sort of like bullying itch.io. And they're like, well, if it's legal, you can, we can do a transaction, but they're being very vague as to what is legal because they don't want to actually come out and say it. Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, PayPal, none of them are saying what they consider legal and illegal. What they do not like and what they do like, because they know that if they do that, then it's going to come back and, bite them in the booty. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, about this visual novel, so what are your comments so far about what's happening about Ash's situation and Julian? How Ash reacted to Julian's whole little VR chat instance. I'm gonna call it VR chat because it kind of is a VR chat. It's just you actually get to feel things. So this is like this would be the next step in VR in my mind. So like, because you could already create your own world, it's just you can't feel it, you can't smell it, you can't use your senses on it aside from vision and maybe touch if you have like the right equipment. But yeah, so like I find their reaction to this whole the whole instance thing that Julian made kind of nice in a way. But I can also see the flaw with the whole escapism of reality. Where it's like, so where are you gonna draw the line there? Because this isn't reality. But yeah, anyway, so, write down in the comments what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to keep up to date with what's going on with Underhaven, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which will have a direct link for the itch.io page. I will also be posting other social links, just in case, stuff happens again. But I already do that, like Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever it is that they might have for social media. That's always in the description. So if somebody again asks me, how do I play this game? Where do I get this game? Description. That's it. Go down there. Anyways, Patreon, in case you want to support the project, in case you want to support all of the other projects, they do all have Patreons. Well, most of them do. Or Ko-fi, so, support them there. If you feel you like these visual novels, then support them if you can. Only if you can, I guess. But yeah, all those links down in the description, as well as the link to become a channel member in case you want to support this channel and support me, support the things I do. So yeah, that will be linked down in the description, but that's usually also like underneath the videos if you're on desktop or mobile. I think it's on mobile too. Yeah, let's just become a channel member. Support me. Support these visual novels and support me because I rate them to you because you guys are too lazy to read them yourself. But yeah, also Ko-fi, in case you can't support through there, in case your country does not currently have the whole channel membership thing, because I know some people do not have access to that. So there's Ko-fi. Unfortunately, that does not get you earlier access to the videos as I'm scheduling them, but it is appreciated. Also Throne. I have stuff on there. Yeah, if you feel so inclined, throne. Anyway, so yeah, I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.